Hey guys, here we have my brother's Weeden number 20. This is a early Weeden number 20 with a brass base. This is one I've actually worked on before, but I did not have the brass base, and I just had a regular tin or steel one. But I've got a donor off of eBay and using its base, also using its pressure valve with a nut going to the steam line. Unfortunately, the donor did not have its bayonet whistle, so that's still a reproduction. So what I had on here before, so we look at this, try to come in, all right? So only on the earlier 20s, and maybe the big giants, did the steam line come up to the pressure valve and screw in with its nut right here, right? The original one on this engine, its little arms right here were broken off. So I was able to find a reproduction, which is this little guy right here. And as you can tell, it was nickeled, I guess. And the nut right here is actually part of the pour. You don't screw it off. And I had to fix the steam line into it permanently, right? Also, it does not seal well, and it worked, but not very well. Also, on the original one, the lever is you may not be able to tell, but it's brass, which is kind of cool. A lot of brass pieces on this older one. The smokestack came from the donor, which is has a brass top and is not nickeled steel. And so I've cleaned up the brass lamp a little bit, put a new wick in, and let's see if we can go ahead and light this candle. I'll take this guy, put it down, give it a little twist. Okay. All right. So come up a little bit. There we go. All right, so here we have all around. It's just doesn't say big giant anywhere. It's not stamped number 20 or Weeden. There we go. The pressure valve is a bayonet style, meaning it has like 4 little feet. You give it a quarter turn. This is our reproduction whistle, also bayonet style. It leaks a lot, doesn't really set in well, and it really doesn't whistle. So it's mainly, as far as I'm concerned, shaped like a whistle and plugs the hole, right? We have our lead elbows and lead screws, or rather nuts, for the sight glass. These early 20s, they painted them red for the balance wheel. I am unsure if the weight is appropriate for this engine, which is a ball. Let's see, the other kind of style that the Weeden had. Here's another one, I'm grabbing it. This is another type of style. I think the ball is going to be correct. It is a reproduction. Now this engine, when it decides to run, doesn't run very well. It's quite slow. The piston is quite tired, and the other piston I have for 20 is just as bad, if not worse. So she'll chug, but not very well. Oh, here's another interesting tidbit. Down here at the bottom for the wick, its knob is also brass. almost. Maybe that will get her going. There we go. I mean, not horribly bad, but I have two big giants that were made in probably the 19 teens area. One is a steel boiler. The other one is a brass boiler, and it runs like 3 times as fast as this guy. I can tell that, you know, there's a little, where this rod goes in there, I can see some slop where it's going, you know, kind of slapping back and forth. There's a lot of blow by on the piston. But it runs. And considering that it's plausible that this engine was made, you know, in the late 1800s, or at least in the very early 1900s, it's at least 126 years old, maybe up to 130 years old. Let's see. So I just have to give it a lot of heat. Looks like I made it unhappy. Or maybe I'm running out of fuel. One of the two. All right, well, I guess on that note, she does run. You just have to find their sweet spot from the flame and just kind of watch it a little bit. I don't think it would ever be able to run an accessory. But, you know, it's more of, really, it's just a nice, very old Weeden number 20 with its unique brass base. Don't see very many of those complete. All right, hope you all enjoyed it. See you next time.